in this month's Artist Spotlight.
Hey y'all, I'm Rocky2Grimey, rapper/songwriter, and I'm here with the Music District, discovering new music and pioneering music's future in Web3, one broadcast at a time. See you there.
Supervillains shit. Yo, James, what up? Let's go. Peep game. Oh yeah, this is the soundtrack. Last year they thought I was finished and then I bounced back. This year I'm on a mission, eager to count stacks. Surrendering to my supervillain, I'm glad I found that. I like chilling with women, they got around that. Bounce that, perfect precision and I'ma pound that. Shorty wanna give me the kitten, watch who you pounce at. That pool ready to swim and I might drown. These boys think I'm a gimmick, I call it clown man. This song sucks, I don't wanna listen because it sounds bad. How bad? If I had a lemon for every lyric that's off beat on me, they'd be worth 100,000 cash. These fake 3 niggas down bad. Me and Thanos bringing the chaos, that mean the bar's back. Or snap. Watch these niggas disappear. Supervillains in here, impact like a car crash. Bounce, 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 bounce. All I wanna do is see ya bounce with me, bounce with me. Have a partner hit the floor. Bounce with me, bounce with me. Some clap, clap, others stomp, but around here we make 'em bounce. We make 'em bounce. Yup, like little Ron Ron. Got your girl bouncing that ass like little John's on. You don't want no problems with me, better go on, bruh. Every now and then I get scrappy, I put the paws on him. I hit him in his noodle and knock the sauce out him. Knuckle carbonara, that's for thinking Rocky ain't bout. Hit a song playing, trying to hate on it like they ain't bouncing. I'm the one that turned this shit up. Darius, it is what it is, huh? I might drop a hit every 6 months. Y'all still ain't get to do what I did once. Nope. I roll with AGS, that is gang gang. Still royal dreads, ain't a thing changed. Money ain't a thing like Jermaine say. Tell the DJ go ahead and press play to make y'all bounce, 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 bounce. All I wanna do is see ya bounce with me, bounce with me. Have a partner hit the floor. Bounce with me, bounce with me. Some clap, clap, others stomp, but around here we make 'em bounce. We make 'em bounce. All I wanna do is see ya bounce with me, bounce with me. Have a partner hit the floor. Bounce with me, bounce with me. Some clap, clap, others stomp, but around here we make 'em bounce. We make 'em bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce. All I wanna do is see ya bounce with me, bounce with me. Have a partner hit the floor. Bounce with me, bounce with me. Some clap, clap, others stomp, but around here we make 'em bounce. We make 'em bounce. Bounce, 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 bounce.
What's up, y'all? This is Rocky2Grimey, rapper/songwriter, chef, host of Grammy Talk Radio, head of talent relations at AGS. You know what I'm saying? Tap in. Supervillains. Let's go. Here to share my music. I didn't know Shontelle was going to be there. I'm a fan of Shontelle's. I listen to her music. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, she was the first person as far as like someone who's actually been in the mainstream world, in the industry, that basically gave me like a sign of approval. You know what I'm saying? And like put her stamp on me. And, you know, for me, that was just like really, it was like almost like, yeah, you're on your way. Like everything that you've been doing over the last 20 years that, you know, you're getting confirmation now that like, hey, you're actually good at this. You actually might be able to, you know, accomplish all of these dreams and goals that you got. I love that.
Yeah, man.
You know, so you look at me and Shontelle now, like, you know, back then I was just like, you know, I was a little bit fanned out, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm in the room with Shontelle. And now it's like I can FaceTime her, you know, right now.
Why don't you tell? Yeah, that's also like also you have a connection with Rodney Jerkins. You know, he's a 2-time Grammy Award winner, right? He's partnered with like Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Brandy, Bieber, J-Lo. I mean, he's done some prolific stuff.
None of that happens without Shontelle. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, you know, she's very important to me. That record's important to me. Basically, how I ended up doing the record with Rodney was there was a competition that that went on. This is 2 years ago now, I want to say. It was 2023. Yeah, it was 2023. There was a competition to be on this compilation, and there was going to be 15 winners. And, you know, everybody is, you know, from Web3. There were some people that submitted in Web2, but it was also like mainly like a Web3 type of thing. And the 15 winners would basically get to be on this album compilation, and everybody would get a track that would be produced by Rodney. So, you know, it was, you know, about a 3-month competition or so, lasted like most of the summer. And by the end of the summer, you know, I was one of those 15 that was chosen to work with him. And I was really excited because I'm a big fan of, like, you know, his music, things that he's done. You know, Brandy's my favorite female R&B singer. He's done a lot of Brandy's music, a lot of, you know, the Full Moon album, the Human album, The Boy Is Mine, all that stuff. So, you know, I'm a fan in that sense. So it was, you know, definitely like one of my arriving moments to be able to say that I worked with.
So Shontelle is sort of like your bridge there for that opportunity. And you met Shontelle in Web3?
So literally it was, I just pulled up to a space. My man Turbo made it. You might know him. And it was really cool. I got to meet Turbo at the event too. You know, the first time I got to meet Turbo IRL. Turbo is actually the voice that you hear on the intro to Don't Talk to Me. So I sampled Turbo's voice and I sampled Shontelle's voice. And Turbo was the one who at the time he was working with the Royal Dreads, and he invited me to come to the space. When he invited me, I didn't know Shontelle was going to be there. You know, and so I was just like, yeah, like, how the hell do you know Shontelle? You know what I'm saying? And Shontelle, you know, she enjoyed my music, and, you know, this was a weekly thing that they were hosting every Thursday night, open mic thing for the artists. So I kept coming back every single week. I kept coming back, and I just built a relationship with them. Ended up building a relationship with Shontelle through coming into those spaces, and, you know, Turbo had some other things going on in his life, and he had to take a step back from being in focal points in the Royal Dreads. And it didn't happen, you know, purposely, but I kind of like stepped in, and I don't want to say replaced him, but I kind of just filled the slot that he was in. And now I go from being, you know, the guy showing up to the space every week. Now I'm hosting it with Ann and with Cam and with Shontelle. You know, and, you know, that's how that relationship started. Building these relationships and networking all the time. It's really dope when you can finally meet people for the first time IRL, but that's why I try now to do my best to give others a platform, because I had the people who came before me that gave me a platform, you know, and I try to use the influence that I have today, because I wasn't always the Rocky2Grimey that I am now, you know, so that's, I try to, you know, do Grammy Talk Radio and do the things that we're doing with AGS and all these other things as my way is trying to like pay it forward.
I was wondering a little bit more about Grammy Talk Radio and how you balance being an artist and a host.
Honestly, man, it's my personality, like, because I'm not your typical like journalist, you know? So for me, Grammy Talk Radio isn't about like having interviews. It's about having conversations. You know, I get on there and I have conversations with people, and I really try to, I think because I'm also an artist and I understand what it's like to be a creative, me talking as an artist to another artist is just, we connect a little differently as opposed to somebody who doesn't actually do it. You know?
Facts.
So I can have different types of conversations with artists because I understand what it's like to be.
Tell me about Supervillains and your collaboration. How did it start? What makes it special and different?
Oh man, you know, shout out to Thanos, man. That's my guy. That's my brother. I don't know if you're familiar with the history, man, but you know, about a year ago, little over a year ago at this point, actually almost 2 years ago, I would say, we're getting closer to that time. Me and Thanos had a little spat, you know what I'm saying, that turned into like a little short, you know, rap beef over a few months. There were some diss records made, mostly on his end. Mine is most famous for some subs that I threw at him over a Cali Speedway record that we did called 3 Eyes. And really, you know, it was just a misunderstanding, a miscommunication that me and Thanos had that sparked that rap beef. We really didn't have any real animosity towards each other. We did have a mutual respect for each other because he knew what I do and I knew what he did. We were following each other. I'd seen him like in the battle rap spaces, so I knew who he was, you know? We just had a miscommunication over something that I didn't like, and I basically he took my voice. He did what I did on Don't Talk to Me, you know, like with Shontelle. Thanos had made a record called Fake 3 where he was dissing a lot of people in the space, and some of them being, you know, people that I was connected to at the time. And he actually came and debuted that song in my space. And I told him, like, you know, I think this is really dope. Like, you know, just leave me out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause, you know, I'm connected with some of the people that you mentioned, you know? So I was in another space later, you know, around that time where we were talking about it, and I was kind of like praising the record, you know, talking about how dope I thought it was, because I did think it was dope. So he somehow ended up finding the clips where I said these things, and he did what I did, and he sampled my voice and put it on this record where he was dissing Rizzo the Boss, right? So I go to a space and I pull up in there and I hear the record and I'm like, yo, what the heck? Like, so I kind of like hit him up and I'm just like, yo, bro, I told you not to be involved with me in this shit, and you literally involved me, you know? So we had an exchange of words. That led to me dissing him on Cali Speedway's song, which then led to him dissing me on a bunch of freestyles in early 2024. And, you know, I want to say by the time we got to like summer, probably like literally around this time last year is when me and Thanos ended up in a space together. And, you know, we talked about it and we realized, you know, it was just miscommunication. And we was like, yo, let's do some music together. We never planned for it to become this. You know, we didn't plan for it to become Supervillains. It was just another organic thing that happened. We started off just making like 1 or 2 records, and then we realized that our chemistry was so dope that we were like, yo, let's go ahead and just like make this a whole thing. Thanos came up with the name, you know, it's Supervillains, and we started working on the album, man, and we're almost done. We got some real dope joints. I think it's like, to me personally, out of 20 years worth of writing music, this is the best body of work I think I've ever created. You
because especially in Web3, when you don't really speak to everybody day in, day out, and you really don't know anybody all that well, it could be taken out of context. So I feel like that is something that's sort of evolving over time. And to your perfect example with Thanos, you guys able to see through that and now creating something beautiful now with Supervillains. So I think that is a real cool bookmark here to really highlight, to share with people, hey, stick with it. Don't take things personal. This is, it's artists being artists. And I think it's important for everybody out there, whatever genre they're in, to keep with it and to be open-minded and not take things so personal. So what are some of these challenges that you're facing here in Web3?
Look, hip hop is competitive, and that's kind of like that's where I came from. Like, as far as like, I'm not a battle rapper, but I am very competitive, and that's the type of stuff that I love. I love to compete. I like to be number one. I like to say that I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like everybody that's trying to do this at a certain level, you should feel like that. You know what I'm saying? You should feel like you're the best. I'm not content with just being here. You know what I'm saying? And
100.
I didn't come into Web3 as a Web3 guy. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of just a guy who was looking to share his music and kind of like build and branch off with that, I would say the most difficult challenge that I have right now is the fact that I have become something in Web3 that is bigger than what I anticipated. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people don't like me. There's a lot of people that wish they were in my position. You know what I'm saying? Some people, it might come off as braggadocious or cocky or whatever, but I worked for everything that I got here. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
I did the things that I had to do. People who are seeing me now, they're like, oh, he's the guy, he got these mints, he got this and that, he thinks he's this and that because he did this. But these are things that I did. I'm not supposed to be proud of my accomplishments and the things that I did and that I'm continuing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't stopped. I haven't slowed down. There's some guys that, were in the space when I first got here and they've done nothing. They're in the same spot that they were in 2022 when I walked in here. And in 2025, they're still in the same position, and
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, so it's like, don't be mad at me because I took the ball and I ran with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, catch up or just don't say anything to me, So, like, right now, especially with all the stuff going on with me and Thanos and the positive things that we're doing, I find that the more I try to do positive things in the space, the more negative things begin to pop. People try to damage your reputation and all different sorts of things. So that's the most challenging thing, I would say. Everything else is cool, because the only challenge of it is that, like, I be wanting to respond to a lot of that negativity, and I know that I shouldn't. I know that I shouldn't respond to it. I know that I should ignore it. But, being the guy that I am, as a competitor and even as a man at the end of the day, you don't really want somebody just talking to you crazy all the time, especially, over a computer screen or through a phone, So that's the most difficult thing, But outside of that, man, I mean, there are a lot more people that got love for me than those that actually do dislike me. You would think a lot more people dislike me than do love me. But no, I actually do get a lot of love out here, So I'm just grateful for that.
Tell us a little bit about, outside of music, What kind of hobbies or ritual grounds do you sort of practice to keep being you?
Man, so you know what, like I alluded to earlier, you know, I'm really into like WWE. I watch it religiously. Every day I'm watching wrestling content, whether it's, you know, they put on Monday Night Raw every Monday. They put on Friday Night SmackDown every Friday. Once or twice a month, there's a pay-per-view on the weekends. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of my free time is spent watching either a wrestling show or some sort of wrestling content. I really enjoy it. I like to play video games. I don't play too much nowadays because I really be, you know, I'm in spaces a lot and doing other things. I'm into video games. I really like Pokemon. That's a game that I would play a lot if I were playing. Obviously, like the wrestling video games. Some people know that, you know, like I cook. That's another thing that I'm really good at. Like cooking is a hobby of mine. So, you know, like cooking, you know, I actually been working like as far as like my, you know, my day jobs. Most of my jobs have been in like the food industry.
Okay.
And stuff like that, all aspects of it, from, you know, dishwashing, the cooking to being a prep or, you know, anything having to do with like restaurant life. I do that. What else? Working out. I'm real big on working out, being in the gym. But I haven't been in the gym lately, hence why I'm a little chubby in the face right now. But we're gonna get back to it, you know, soon enough. I had a lot of things that went on in the past, like, you know, year or so, that like set a lot of different things back, and I'm only just now like really starting to get my life a little bit more normal than it was before. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting myself back together now. I enjoy to, like, you know, watch cartoons more so than like I guess like real TV. Not that I don't watch real TV too. I just prefer cartoons. Listening to music, obviously, like I am an artist. One of my favorite things to do is listen to music, you know.
What's some of the artists that you listened to growing up that have inspired you?
Oh yeah, I got quite a few, man. And it's a vast thing because, like I told you, like, you know, I listen to a lot of like hip hop and R&B. So, you know, as far as like on the hip hop side, you know, 50 Cent, Eminem, Mace, Jay-Z, Nelly, you know, T.I., Game. It's so many guys, man. On the R&B side, you know, like Neo, Usher, writers like Brian Michael Cox and you know, Kerry Hilson, so many people, man. Like I would have to place like categories, you know, Fabulous, Jadakiss, you know, these are guys that I listen to, like, you know, all the time, that I listen to coming up. Old Kanye West, you know, not this new one, but the old one. Lloyd Banks, you know, Cassidy.
Now, you embraced Web3 pretty early, right? So what do you think most artists still misunderstand about NFTs, blockchains, or even ownership in this space? What do you think is one of the biggest hurdles or struggles that exist right now in Web3 music?
I think one of the biggest problems is like an oversaturation of the markets. A lot of artists are really just trying to make a bag. You know what I'm saying? I don't really feel like they really care about the actual music itself, or, you know, I think they literally are just here because they're trying to make bags, you know. And while it's very nice to make a bag, you know, because I've made a bag here and there over the last few years. I do feel like, you know, if you compare me to some of the artists in 3 years, I don't have that many drops. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get a drop from me You know, like I like my drops to be rare. I like them to be kind of like spread out. I don't really like dropping more than one thing at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like Bounce has been out for a couple of months now, you know, and it's almost minted out now. Last time I checked, I got like 6 editions left. But you know, I play that game, you know what I'm saying? I be in it for the long haul. Like, you know, it's like I'm not dropping something else until that thing sells out.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? I like my stuff to be finished, to close the door on one thing before you get to another, you know? And these guys would just be like, well, I'm going to put this song out, and, you know, a few people mint it, 10 people mint it, and they move on to the next one. You know, like, that's just kind of crazy to me. Like, stand behind your work. You know what I'm saying? If you want it to sell out, go in there, go into those spaces and promote the sound.
Speaking of Bounce, is there any utility that comes with that?
Yeah. So the utility for Bounce is that it's, like I said, it's 50 editions altogether. So very limited in that sense, right? What I'm doing is everybody that mints, they're going to get a signed physical copy of a CD. So every single minter is going to get that CD. And at the end of the mint, when it's completely sold out, I'm going to put everybody's name in a picker. I've been writing down the names of every single person that is minted, right? So far, there's only 2 people that I don't know who they are that minted.
Okay.
You know, I need people to, like, when you met, I need you to, like, leave a comment or, you know, post or something, because otherwise I don't know that you meant it, right? Mm-hmm. But out of, like, 44 people, I've got 42 names, you know, so I got to just find out who those last 2 are. But once the mint is closed out, I'm going to put everybody's name in a picker. And whoever wins that picker is going to get a signed vinyl. So one person is going to get the signed vinyl and the CD, and the other 49 people are all going to get CDs. I'll give you this exclusive here too. I haven't really talked about it too much. I've mentioned it here and there, but I haven't really announced it on a broader scale. There is a Bounce remix that will be coming. And everybody that minted the original is going to get a discount on that as well.
As you're growing this Web3 community for yourself, right? Like, I mean, look, like you, I'm not here for the money. I mean, maybe a year ago, I was trying to get subscriptions, but quite honestly, I realized in a very quick way that that's not what Web3 is about, you know, and that's a lot of the reason why we never dropped anything in the music district. We're just simply, a music channel. Think of it like a cross between the community spirit of PBS mixed with the cultural vibes of MTV. And it's that story behind the Rocky2Grimey that I feel really connect how fans discover and invest. And so I feel like that's my lane. And that's an evolution of where I came from and where I am now. I think the biggest thing about success is not to chase the money. Money will find you. And as long as you're consistent with that energy, that positive energy that you're sharing and what you're doing for the communities and for the artists inside of those communities, and maybe helping fans discover new music, I feel like that's something very, very important that isn't being done right now. Artist, chef, host, creator, you're a lot of things, man. Which one you think pushes you furthest?
Definitely the music, man. Like, everything else is the most important thing to me is music.
It is.
I don't get more enjoyment out of than anything. I think that, like, when I'm able to, like, be in the studio or, seeing, like, my ideas that, seeing the what I hear in my head, like, come to life. Like, there's no better feeling than that for me. So, everything else, like, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy hosting spaces, what I'm saying? These are things that I enjoy doing, so I don't mind doing them. But 100%, like, there's nothing more than, being able to do the music and share the music. That's always the biggest thing to me.
As the music district and Rollo, when I first started, it was a lot of time and effort that I was putting into this, right? To like promote other artists, other communities. And like I said, back in 2 years ago, I was trying to get subscribers to actually pay me for the, to help support the tech, the time, the energy. And when I realized that Web3 wasn't really the place to do that, because everybody's out there with a whole lot of ideas, a whole lot of business, not a whole lot of money, I found that storytelling and learning this technology has become so much of a passion of mine that it's not about the money. And so I'm trying to ask from an artist perspective, how would you define passion?
Okay, yeah. I mean, honestly, because look, bro, I never did, the music for the money, per se, you know what I'm saying? Well, I didn't, like, see that I can really make money off of my music until 2 years ago, And mind you, I told you, I've been doing music for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until 2 years ago that I actually, like, made some money off of my music, and I was like, wow, this is, now obviously I always, like, my goal was always to, like, get to a level of where people knew me, and I can go and I could do shows and get paid for that, and I can go sell my albums and get paid for that, right? But at the end of the day, like, my passion is really just creating music that people can enjoy and that people can relate to. The reason that I enjoy listening to the music that I listen to is that, like, it takes me into, another world. I like listening to R&B a lot because, there's a lot of things that you talk about, like, in R&B, love, heartbreak, loss, different types of things that you can talk about in music that these are real life emotions that we feel, So, like, have you ever listened to a song that you resonated with so much that, like, you had a tear in your eyes while listening to it because it made you think about something that you personally went through? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's what music does for me. You know what I'm saying? So my goal is to make music for that is going to affect somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If I can make a song where somebody was going through the same situation I was going through, or they felt something similar to what I felt, or they relate to it in any type of way, that's the goal for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not about the actual money. Yes, I want money. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't want money, but my goal as to why I do what I do isn't because I want money. Now, obviously, that it's what I'm good at and I'm passionate about it. So if I can make money at the same time, that's the ultimate form of happiness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not doing it because I want money.
Understood. So would you say music is your therapy, your weapon, or your legacy?
Oh, man. Damn, I mean, do I only got to pick one?
Three. I mean, your world, man. We're just living in it.
My legacy or my weapon? I think I'll say my legacy. I think I'll say legacy because I believe that when I'm no longer here, I I will have done enough musically in my life for when people think about me, they'll remember me for it. And that'll be what will be tied to me, you know? But I think at the end of the day, like what I would want is for, like I said, like I want to touch people. I want people to resonate with the music. And I think that's, you know, that would be my legacy, is that, you know, I left you with a body of work, different bodies of work that you can go back and listen to when I'm no longer here. And, you know, you can really see, like, you know, the best way to get to know me is listening to the things that I've written and recorded. Even though I do feel like, you know, it's also a weapon. And also the other thing is
Therapy.
Therapy, yeah. It's definitely like a form of therapy as well, because I'll say things in the music that I won't necessarily say out loud. You know what I'm saying? It's like a tool to where I can take things that I'm thinking and make art out of it, you know, in a creative way. So that is a form of therapy as well.
I have a moment, because you are both in Web 2 and Web 3, right? So and I think your most recent, right, Bounce was the first dedicated Web 3 drop for you?
I wouldn't call it, I wouldn't say that I have dedicated Web3 drops.
Could I listen to Bounce on Spotify? Because I couldn't find it.
Not yet. So that's the thing about like how I'm doing this, is because, again, I want stuff to have value, right? So I got like 4 or 5 albums worth of music on Spotify and other streaming platforms. My logic is that you can, if you want to just listen to Rocky2Grimey, you don't have to actually mint. You don't have to go here to do that. I played Don't Talk to Me in Spaces for 10 months before I put it on the blockchain. And, you know, every time people was like, hey, where can I mint this? I was like, you can't, because I don't even know what mint means. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I didn't even know what that means to put this on blockchain. And I didn't understand crypto and NFTs like that, right? A Web3 guy. So when I did put out Don't Talk to Me, it was really just me saying, you know what, let me just finally put something on Web3 because everybody else has been asking for it.
I think we're learning a lot about Web3, especially through you, because I see that even as you've been in Web3 for how long?
I mean, so I would say, I've always been on Twitter. I've been on Twitter since like 2009.
Right.
Web3 specifically, I consider Web3 like when I started getting into these spaces. So I guess that would be 2022.
You know, as somebody in Web3, you know, watching you grow and learning about minting and relationships. I mean, this is fantastic insight for somebody who might be looking to get into Web3 just like yourself. And I know for a lot of different artists or even founders or pioneers, I know there are days where you just want to give up, myself included. What pulls you back in? Like, what pulls you back into it?
I think it's just the belief in myself, really. You know, I genuinely feel like I know where I'm headed. And I don't see anything stopping me. You know, like I feel like, you know, I know where I'm supposed to be and I know what I'm supposed to do. And I see a path to get there. And I do the things that I do daily because I know that it's going to help me get to where I'm supposed to be. Why I take the time to do these different things, why I go to the La Bodegas, you know what I'm saying, and go show up and shake hands and meet people. You know, that's the reason. You know, it's just the belief in myself. Like I'm finally, it was, you know, like I said, going back to like Shontelle, being able to, you know, to meet her and get her guidance being able to be able to work with somebody that, you know, I had a lot of admiration for growing up, like Rodney Jerkins, to be able to say that I, you know, did a record with him and put that on my resume. That was confirmation for me that the last 20 years of people telling me you should do something else, you should try to do this, you should, you know, because like that's just something that happens with artists, is that a lot of people that you would think or that you would hope would be in your corner don't actually, they think you're crazy. You know what I'm saying? You tell somebody, I want to make music, I want to rap, I want to do this and that. They look at you like you're crazy. They say, why don't you get a real job? You know, like stuff like that. You know, they almost look at it as if like you're wasting your time. In the last couple of years being in Web3, it confirmed that for me. Because I've accomplished more in the last 2 years than I've accomplished in my entire life. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I've never been closer to achieving my goals and different things than I am today. Supervillains, like you guys don't even, you know, because it's not out yet. I don't even know what we're about to do with that. That is, it's just a belief in myself, man. I don't know what else to say about it.
Dude, there's not much more to say. I mean, as long as you have that belief, I mean, that's what it is. I think you just got to live every day to your best. And tomorrow's not guaranteed. I mean, you got to do, everything I do is to make me happy in the moment. I don't do things for a certain way to feel in the future, because I find when you do that, you usually let yourself down. I'm a new fan. I'm watching Artist Spotlight. What would you want them to know about you and why they want to, and why they should follow you?
Authenticity, you know, like the guy that's talking right now, like I'm the same guy. You know, you see me outside, you see me in the stage, you see me on this camera. You know, that guy is the same guy that you're going to get in the music. It's the same guy that you're going to get in any situation. Because I take pride in what I do musically. I'm always trying to create the best body of work, and I want it to be real. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be something that people can feel, and that they know that I'm not like these other people who are just funny. You know, it's one thing to be, you know, good at rapping, but is the stuff that you're rapping about actually real? Is it actually you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like how do they know you're authentic and not somebody that might not be?
I think it's just the way that it comes off, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
At least that's what I've been told by people. Like they'll hear, like I might play a certain record, I might play Don't Talk to Me, and they're like, yo, I can hear, you know, like what you're talking about. I can feel that. I can feel that, like this is a guy who's been through some things and he's telling us his story right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
I have a connection to what I'm talking about, and that's what makes it authentic, you know? Like you look at like a record like Bounce, right? For example, it's a club record, right? But the chorus was me paying homage to an old Little Bow Wow song called Bounce With Me. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm going on record numerous times of saying that, like, there was a time that a very young Rocky2Grimey's that was probably, like, 8 years old, I wanted to be Bow Wow at a time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
me at 33, I'm turning 33, you know what I'm saying? Making a song, a club record, and using an old Bow Wow song as a reference for it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't get more realer than that. Still taking little bits and pieces from my life and putting it there. Just be real. Just be honest. I ain't gonna lie to you. If you listen to some of my real younger music, but like 14 through like maybe 15, I might have been embellishing things a little bit back then. and just rapping stuff that I thought sounded good. You know what I'm saying? I say like 16 and up, it's been just complete authenticity.
You know, and I gotta say, I could feel it, you know, when we met and we were hanging out, without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? I definitely connected with you. So what advice would Rocky2Grimey, Grimey, you know, now you're French. What would you give yourself, like, advice to the younger Rocky stepping in the booth 10 years ago from what it is you know now?
Man, so, 10 years ago, I would have been 23. I think I would have just told myself that version of me, because that version of me, I was killing shit. The pen was working. I probably would have told myself, one, stay persistent, keep doing that. And I probably also would have told myself, focus less on, focus less on like drinking, focus less on smoking. I don't smoke anymore, by the way. I do still drink, but I would have told myself, focus less on these other activities and focus more on the music, focus more on your health, and getting your mind right, to be the best person that you can be later, because you're talented as fuck, but you got so many different distractions that are going to slow down your process. I think if I would have, put the bottle down a little bit, wasn't always high, wasn't chasing women. One thing about me and girls, man, like, that is women will straight fuck my old shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, legitimately, like, that's why I am right now, where I'm not really concentrating on like women or anything like that, because I start putting my focus into the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? And I think if a younger me, a me at 23, had the potential to be the guy that I am now 10 years ago, if I would have just focused more.
It's tough to do. One of the things that we do here on Artist Spotlight is something called Artist Promoting Artist, where we give the artist that we're featuring an opportunity to support another artist in our community and bring awareness to them just the same. So what artist would you like to bring awareness to and share the spotlight with?
There's so many, but if I gotta pick one today, I absolutely have to, shout out my brother Thanos, man. He has to be the one. He's doing so much right now. And I say it to him all the time. I say that, like, the run that he's on right now reminds me of me in 23.
Curfew, I won't condone it. You said you wasn't messing with dude. You better own it. We on our grown shit just kicking in. Sitting back, listening to smooth instruments. How sweet the sound. Nah, Punchinella, come on, Punchinella, come on. Nah, Punchinella, come on, Punchinella. I'm choosing Myra or Laura. She high up off my aura. She said she loved my music, and for that I had a daughter. More than a supporter, she was not just a fan. She wanna be with me even though she got a man, he was a Looney Tune. An income poop. She told me so many little birdies want to fly the coop. She's on the far side, at her home just telling harsh lies. Cops call domestic violence and sparks fly. But wait, there's more to the dark side. She took the kids and split them apart like apartheid. They part ways, nights were better, some dark days. Took them to court for child support, smart play. In my studio, we record when we getting bored. Making folks flawless victory, that's an even score. One day she sent them a video, he was hella mad. And then he called my pad, what you do to my Mia more?
You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of, the Don't Talk to Me was just released, Rocky2Grimey. I had just built the relationship with Shontelle, Rocky2Grimey. I was climbing up the ladder. He's working hard, man. He's building, the stuff that he's doing with his brand, AGS, putting spotlight on, young talent, young rap battlers and everything else. And just like the music alone, like he's a tremendous artist. He fucking freestyles everything, which is like absolutely insane. Like he doesn't even write down the shit. He's my personal favorite rapper in Web3 right now.
Yo, so shout out to Thanos. You mentioned my girl Cali Speedway, Stu Quan, Rizzo, all these guys. Nothing but love for everybody, man. Nothing but love. Real quick, as we close it up, what's next for yourself? And what could we be looking forward to? And where can we find more information about you? Your websites, domains, things like that.
Yeah, so as far as what's next, man, I got so many different projects that I'm doing on the NFT side. I got an upcoming release coming with DigiBeats, DigiJoints and Moonclean. We did want to drop that on 4th, but they were a little sick when they were leaving New York, so that pushed that drop back. So I'll be talking to them soon.
Oh, there's a new drop?
Yeah, so I got a record called Spin the Block that I'll be releasing with DigiBeats. And it's really up to Moonclean when we're going to put it out, but I'm pretty sure it'll sometime before this month is over, maybe in the next couple of weeks, we'll be dropping that. I'm working on some stuff for some communities, the Ballers community and Poisonous, Pin Up Cherries. I'm doing some stuff for them as far as like not really necessarily theme songs, but songs for their communities I'm working on. Obviously, the Supervillains album is, the main thing that we're trying to get done and get released to the public. And I'm really excited about that. We're aiming for like August, like late August or early September. We're hoping to have that out. And as far as like, in the spaces as well, and back to Thanos, we just turned AGS into no longer a battle league, but now AGS is a Web3 agency. And I'm taking on the role of head of talent relations for the agency. So y'all will be seeing a lot soon as far as like artists that we're going to be trying to push and spotlight in Web3 with the agency. I think it's going to be real dope, man. It's Thanos' brainchild, and I'm just here to support anything that he's doing, We're putting on these different events. We actually, this Friday, we have an AGS event called the Multiverses.
A reoccurring thing?
We do this every few weeks. The Multiverses, we do it every couple of weeks. So, you just tap in with the AGS page at any given spaces. Tap in with that page or tap in with me or Thanos, and you'll see all of the events that we got going on. I'm doing Grammy Talk Radio every 2 weeks as well. So, tomorrow I'm doing an episode with Hardistry. We're going to sit down with him, and that's going to be real dope. So, yeah, man, it's just, doing our regular stuff that we do in the spaces and dropping a lot of music, flooding the summer, man. We're flooding the summer. We're flooding the rest of the entire year. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say about 2026 yet, but I just know that, the rest of 2025, I'm flooding music.
That's great, man. I'm super proud of you, bro. I love watching your success. And I think this is the beginning of something beautiful. And if there's anything that I could ever do for you This is not a one and done. I'll be, as you could tell from my past artist spotlights, I promote the shit out of them forever.
For sure, man. Definitely, let me know when, when it's ready and how to share it and whatever I can do on my end, to put more eyes on it and more eyes on you too.
Yeah, no doubt. I think the idea originally was to do these artist spotlights, right? And then to have the artists obviously share it, tag, and also not just an X, but an Instagram, where I'll hit you up as a collaborator, so we could extend that reach. But the important piece about all this is when we're done and we move on to the next artist, the concept was to you to continue to promote Web3 music and those other artists that we highlight and feature. When you do see other spotlights, share it. And that would be the best thing that you could possibly do for us. But thank you very much for taking the time. Positive vibes and wishing you nothing but the best.
Definitely do this again someday too. Absolutely.
I appreciate
it. Hey, y'all, I'm Rocky2Grimey, rapper/songwriter, and I'm here with the Music District, discovering new music and pioneering music's future in Web3, one broadcast at a time. See you there.
Yeah. One more time, I need you. Digit. Spin the block, baby. Toxic energy. Spin the block, baby. Toxic energy. Look, girl, I know it's been a minute. We should never speak again from the way you're in it. It's just something about a vibe, and I keep getting flashbacks to the last time I was in it. Damn, it's messed up how you try to spin it like we was just drunk, you was never with it. Now you know that's just dumb, shorty, who you kidding? You would never circle back if you really meant it. I see that where I messed up was getting in my feelings. I wanna say I love you, but you don't wanna hear it. You wanna take my soul, you almost had my spirit, and you don't wanna love, you just wanna feel it. But you ain't gotta worry, baby girl, I get it. If you just wanna, baby girl, I'm with it. No strings attached, I just wanna hit it one last time until the next time I miss it. Spin the block, baby. Toxic energy. Spin the block, baby. Toxic energy. Late night, phone ringing. I pick up, you singing. Tyrese, would you be my sweet love for a lifetime? I'm here if you need me. Be my sweet lady. Come through, receive me till you scream out. Alright, girl, I think I get the point. I bet the neighbors know my name the way we bring the noise. Maybe we should take a break before they get annoyed. I take a shot, she be puffing on the digi joint. Yeah, all good, now we back to it. She tell me lay back, she wanna hack to it. Don't you ever take what's mine, don't you act stupid. Don't you act stupid. Don't you act stupid.